You know, those projects you put off for as long as you possibly can because they're so intimidating? These built-ins were that for me. Once I finally took the leap and got started, I quickly realized that it was not going to work. Cabinets on this side would block the view from the door. Fortunately, the other side of the room was pretty much the same, so I was able to just move the base over. Both spots had ductwork to work around. This side has a floor vent, so I bought a kit off Amazon that is meant to redirect airflow out the toe kick of cabinets. Such an easy fix. This was my first time building cabinet boxes, which is why this project was so intimidating to begin with. The fact that I had to work around slanted ceilings didn't help. I used template pieces to get the angle that I needed, and I used my mini circular saw for all my cuts. If I can build cabinet boxes, anybody can. But I do recommend getting help carrying the boxes because this 3/4 inch plywood is not light. Make sure to use a level when screwing everything together. I used select pine boards for my frame. A 1x2 perfectly covers up 2 pieces of plywood next to each other. I'm painting these built-ins the same color as the rest of the room, which is Benjamin Moore Monet. The best part about building your own cabinet boxes is you can totally customize them for what you need. I had very specific toys that I envisioned in these cabinets. I used the faux floating shelf technique to build the shelves. I wish I had made adjustable shelves, but to be honest, this project was already overwhelming as is. I couldn't wrap my head around that extra step. Now for the doors, I used IKEA Oxburg doors that are meant to go with the Billy bookcases. These were the measurements that I worked around. I thought I'd like the look of glass, but didn't like the mess being on display, so I ended up gluing pull wrap to the front. Then I took a risk and painted directly over the glass backing with Zinsser Bin primer. It seemed to work. Check back in about a year. Then I painted the doors that same Benjamin Moore Monet color. It's such a pretty dusty rose. I do kind of wish that I could build my own cabinet doors, but I always worry about them warping, especially ones of this size. So maybe someday I'll tackle smaller ones. I also find cabinet hinges extremely confusing, so I was hoping to just go with the IKEA hinges they came with, but they ended up not adjusting well, so I actually ordered different ones off Amazon that worked a ton better. My favorite part was organizing the inside. I got a few other accessories to add in there, including a shelf that collapses, some boxes and bins, and then this pull-out hanging thing that I'm using for costumes. Crown molding is hard on its own, but when you add in a slanted ceiling, I just could not figure out what to do here, so I ended up cutting off the crown at the edge and actually liked that look better than trying to wrap it. This project took me so long because I had to wrap my head around so many new things, but building cabinet boxes for sure is not as hard as I thought it would be. And since pretty much every bedroom and closet in our house has slanted ceilings to work around, now I have that experience under my belt, and hopefully the next project, like our closet, won't take 6 months to complete.